Welcome to the W2W Live postgame show where we're getting ready to cover the Seattle Seahawks at the Oakland Raiders. We go down 21-23, but I think we got a lot of great stuff out of here tonight. I'm going to let you guys know right off the bat, the phone lines are open. 1-888-912-9846. That's 1-888-912-9846. We are taking your calls, getting your instant reaction, getting what your guys' thoughts are on the game. There's a lot to talk about tonight. I think I know where a lot of the direction is going to be going, and I also know what direction I want to take this. So we're looking for your phone calls. We're excited to see what you guys have to say, and we can start giving our instant reactions. Pirates, any of your first thoughts you got for us tonight?
Yeah, well, I mean, once again, the NFL Network here was blacked out, so I had to jump in the car, drive down to the pizza place, get a look at what was going on there. So again, I didn't get as good of a look as I normally would, but in this case, I got to see a lot of the sort of the second team right after the first quarter, and the defense, what the defense was able to do. They were getting pressure. Latham looking like a beast out there. Finally, Calhoun looking like the guy that we drafted. Again, Cowser coming in, getting the safety, creating pressure. This kid, I don't know what it is. He's got a weird body. He's kind of fat and chubby. His face is just not chiseled or anything. He's got the long hair. But this guy reminds me of like Jared Allen type of guy. I mean, maybe not a big, muscular, physical specimen to look at, but he just seems to have a feel for, slipping past guys, and he's got a nonstop motor. Latham played almost the whole game, extremely impressive, very strong. Defensively, it looked great. Offensively, the second team offensive line, I don't know why Osameli or whatever his name is, I don't know why that guy was starting at center, and we didn't get to see our backup center play. It started out the game just getting pushed into the backfield. It's so unfortunate again that these young running backs didn't get the opportunity to run behind this big offensive line. So we still are going to go into the season and not know exactly what we've got there. You put them behind these other guys and they're going to struggle. And that's sort of what we saw. Connor Cook struggled, did some good things, did some really bad things, looked like a rookie tonight against college level competition, against second, third, fourth team type guys. So, but defensively, I was just really impressed by what this defensive line did, what the linebackers were doing. I mean, we looked good, I thought, across the board against a team with some solid depth that's coached extremely well.
Yeah, I granted it's the last preseason game, but that starting defensive unit, our second team unit, stopped Seattle's first string unit. So I thought that was very impressive. Connor Cook struggled. It plays off what I said in our pregame show. Connor Cook is going to be a good quarterback. And you saw the poise, you saw his timing in the pocket, he was patient. But you just saw some rookie stuff already early on. I mean, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. I mean, it just shows that he needs a little bit more time, but I think we're in a good situation moving forward in the season. Calhoun was all over the place tonight. Cowser showed up with the big safety. Latham, Ward, hit after hit. I mean, it was Autry. Autry was all over the place. Yeah. A lot of talent. Like we said, we finally got to see the talent of the defensive line. And the amazing part is these are the rotational pieces. These are the sub-package pieces, with the exception of maybe Autry, who they were talking about maybe getting that Mario Edwards slot until he gets back. But, whether it's Autry, whether it's Ward, hell, you could throw freaking Cowser in there for right now for all I care. These guys are making plays, dude, and it was really good to see. One of the things that I know I want to talk about tonight, and I know everybody's, I've been talking about it for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. George Atkinson, again, I mean, he dropped a touchdown pass, but he was playing the fullback position, but I thought it was interesting. But he dropped that wide open touchdown pass. He had the fumble. But, overlook all that. Not that you should overlook it. I'm just saying, once again, he was our leading rusher, 10 carries, 56 yards, a touchdown. Then he takes and runs a kickback for a touchdown. And he showed his speed in that jump cut on the sideline again. I'm sorry. I don't know what they have planned for this guy, but I think Pirate, you were mentioned right before we came on that Papa and them were saying they're trying to get him on the practice squad. He won't make it to the practice squad, dude. I would be extremely shocked if he ends up on the practice squad, man.
Yeah, well, that's what basically what they said. Once again, they sort of didn't use him toward the end of the game, and they put him in some positions that I'm. It's a head scratcher. I mean, you put him at the fullback position, and then you throw him a ball. He drops the wide open touchdown, and those are the hardest catches to make. There's nobody there. That ball seems like it's in the air for the longest time.
Right.
And like they said, that's a touchdown, and he misses that, so that's a mark against him. Then he gets the fumble. He fumbles the ball before he's down by contact. These are all the types of things that you look at and you say, okay, these are going to be bad check marks on him. But then he runs back a kickoff for a touchdown. I mean, when's the last time, we had something like that? He's the leading rusher through the preseason. We were talking about it earlier today. It's ridiculous. They said the leading rusher in the preseason is coming to Oakland tonight, and that was the guy from Seattle. The second leading rusher was none other than George Atkinson III, who really only got one game to really show what he had, which again was in the fourth quarter. So they're going to say, well, that doesn't mean much. But then you look at it, and the two running backs from Tennessee were 3 and 4 after that. So you look at, these are three starting prominent runners, basically. Yes, they're going up against the first string defenses of the teams that they're playing against, but I mean, come on, this kid, clearly he has talent. I'm much more comfortable with him at this point than I am with Connor Cook, being, if something's wrong with McGloin, Connor Cook having to start as Derek Carr's backup right now. It's possible, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think that, it's so hard when you're going to get in there and you look at that offensive line, and that offensive line was horrible all night long. It was horrible. You're throwing to Holton, and you're throwing to, Holmes and Brent, and some of these types of guys that are going to be that are fighting even for a roster spot. The offensive line is not creating the big kind of holes so that the running game can be effective. So it makes it very difficult for you as a quarterback. You're not really game planning. So you've really just got to go out there and try to execute some of these base fundamental types of plays. And that's a difficult thing to do. The spotlight's on you. This is it. Get out there with subpar players. Yes, you're going against other subpar players, but get out there with subpar players that don't really ever get a lot of time to practice together and to have some real cohesion. So you kind of got to give Connor Cook a little bit of a break. If he had to go in and replace Derek Carr, he wouldn't be going in with that offensive line, those wide receivers. He'd be going in with the starting offensive line and the starting wide receivers. So the situation might look a little bit different. I got to say, I mean, I heard Papa and Tom Flores, and Papa kept saying over and over again, Tywan Jones is a lock. He's a lock. He's going to make this team. There's no way he's not going to make this team. He's such a good returner. He's so good out of the backfield. He's a change of pace. He's a situational back. And, Tom Flores had a little bit of a different opinion. Tom Flores was sort of like, well, maybe, but, somebody's going to pounce on this kid. He's been back there. Yes, he has 1 year of eligibility, but who's to say that he makes it? This is not a kicker like Giorgio Tavecchio that may be there for you 2-3 years of putting him on the practice squad. This is a guy that's shown explosiveness, burst, vision, the ability to return kicks, the ability, to catch the ball. He didn't catch that one ball, but, he could be change of pace as well. So we got a caller coming in here. Let's go ahead and take our first call. And if you guys don't want to call tonight, that's okay. It's late. It's the last preseason game. There wasn't a lot of stuff going on, so we totally understand. If we don't run too late, that's fine. But we do have a call coming in from Brawley, California. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? This is Raider Ernie. How you doing?
Raider Ernie, what's up? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I want to say a couple things tonight. I was really impressed with the overall depth of our team. I think that we we're much improved from weeks past, and then stopping the run, and the defensive line just played close to lights out. I don't want to say lights out. Obviously, we lost the game, but it's preseason game. But I was just really impressed by the and from the corners, the line. I saw a lot of good things from Connor Cook. He was poised and calm under pressure. He stayed in the pocket, and then made a lot of smart decisions, I think, for a rookie quarterback. And he's definitely going to be our backup next year, no doubt about it. I think we lose Matt McGloin after this season, and barring any kind of injury to Matt McGloin, I see him as our backup this year. But I think moving forward, Connor Cooks is going to be our backup. I know I want to touch on George Atkinson. I know he pretty much cost us the game with a couple of things here, big plays here and there, but that drop touchdown and stuff. But I want to touch on the good things that he did. He did a lot of the little things right, and I think the guy is really trying to make this team. He's playing his heart out, and I think a lot of those were just mental errors because he's just overthinking a lot of things. But I think that with that 83-yard, return, I think that may have very well have nailed. He makes the final cut. I really truly think he makes the final cut. I think he sealed it with that kickoff return. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just have a gut feeling about it that they're seeing this kid, will to, he just has a lot of heart, and I think he just really, really, really wants to make this team, and he has that hunger and that drive, and that's priceless. You can't put a price tag on that. That's you don't see that too much nowadays. So I just want to know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, absolutely, Raider Ernie. I mean, nobody here is down on Atkinson at all. I think we're just saying because of the fact that they're not giving this guy the opportunities, in the first and second quarter, because they've got these rookies and undrafted players and the guys that were here from last year, the time that he's getting is against subpar competition. They're not giving him the opportunity to kind of come in here and prove what he might be able to do. Even in spurts, we're seeing guys like Latham. We're seeing some of these guys that are undrafted guys coming in, Kauser coming in with the starting defense, Latham playing with the starting defense. We're seeing it sort of from the defensive side of the ball, not necessarily from the offensive side of the ball. And we have some guys there that I think both myself and the Knight believe have the potential, if they were playing with these starters, to unseat some of these guys that we've been seeing. Knight?
No, yeah. I mean, my biggest thing is I'm hoping that at least because he had played in the fullback position tonight, that he actually at least gets 3 weeks to try to prove himself on this roster. Just because, Marcel Reese will be out. But I just like to see the kid get a shot. Something tells me we let him go, someone else is going to pick him up. And I don't think we've heard the last of George Atkinson III. I just hope it's not on another team,
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Raider Ernie, thank you so much for calling, brother man. We appreciate it. We're gonna have to take our next call, but we really do appreciate you calling. And you know what? The season starts next week, man. We expect to hear from you guys right after the game.
Yeah, I'm pumped, and in a way, I'm kind of glad we're going into the season with a meaningless preseason loss, because that's just gonna give us that drive to go out to that week one and actually try to get that win and play a little harder.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, brother man. Thank you so much for the call. All right, we've got another caller here from, it looks like, Crossit, Arizona. Crossit, Arizona. Caller, you're on the line.
Yeah. What's going on, man? This is the money.
Oh,
Money.
man.
Money.
Don't. What's going on, money man?
It's another one, man. Just checked out the game. And, well, saw some good and some bad. But hey, it's the fourth game. And now we'll evaluate and come up with the players that gonna make the squad and release the ones that's not worthy.
All right. Well, what did you think about the quarterbacks?
Well, I heard the guys talking about GA3, and I'm like, I would prefer to have him over Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should get rid of Taiwan Jones first. That's my personal opinion. Not that I don't like the guy. I mean, we haven't seen him all preseason. He's been injury prone since he's been on the football team, and I've seen other guys do everything that he could bring. I mean, even George Atkinson missed a tackle on special teams, but he was in the area. It was a tough tackle they had to make. It was a shoestring tackle he was trying to get. But once again, I just see George Atkinson all over the field. I think that he's younger, he's cheaper, and he's more explosive and bigger.
Oh yeah, that's the way I saw the game. I'm thinking GA3 does not get a fair chance with the Warrens, man. If they let him play with the Warrens, I believe he'll show more things. I'm like, the guy stuck down there at the bottom. And he fights against Richard and Washington. They're good players, but I believe he can hold his own against them as well if given the opportunity to do so.
Well, let me ask you this question, Money Man. Why do you think it is that George Atkinson III? Now, what I saw was in game number 1, they had Latavius Murray and then Olawale starting. Then they brought in Washington. In game number 2, they went Latavius Murray, Olawale, and then they brought back a Taiwan Jones who had been out with injury. In game number 3, they followed the same structure, even though this kid, George Atkinson, has shown explosiveness. He's shown vision. He's got all kinds of ability. Why is it that you think he was here last year during the off season? He made the practice squad. Okay, so here's a kid that sort of understands what's going on with this football team. Why are they burying this kid?
That's a good question. Because you figured he would have favoritism since his dad played there.
Legacy, also. He's a legacy player.
Yeah, for some reason, though, they seem like they just don't want to give him a fair chance. And I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on why they want to relish him to the position he is. And then, he had some mistakes tonight. But he didn't make up for him because I don't think you can make up for him unless you win the game. But, he did make some plays after. He made some plays pretty much during the time he was out there, minus the drop in the fumble. When he didn't do those, he was very productive, in my opinion.
Yeah. Do you think he can make it? You think he can make it to the practice squad and stay on the practice squad until next year? Nobody plucks him off during the season. He's eligible for a third year. Yeah, that's what Papa. That's the whole thing. Papa kept saying that they're not going to get rid of Taiwan Jones because he is so good, as a special teams player, as a third down back. But I keep thinking to myself, we've got other special teams players in Washington and Richard, right? George Atkinson, and all three of those guys can be change of pace backs. They're all definitely more explosive. I saw a picture. They had Latavius Murray, Taiwan Jones. It was a picture from the sideline. Latavius Murray, Taiwan Jones, and Marcel Reese. And the only thing I could think in my head was, God, that reminds me of bad times. That right there, that picture right there reminds me of like an inept offense. And I see these young kids. You got these three young horses. Yes, they do not have the experience. You don't know if they're all going to be healthy. You don't know if one of them gets popped in the face, if he's going to be the same like Murray's gotten popped in the face. But the bottom line was I looked down on that shot and I just thought to myself, we have such better players at every position from those guys. How times have changed with this football team. Your thoughts, Knight?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna back you up with that and say, we were talking about Taiwan Jones. And I know this might make a lot of people mad, but I think Marcel Reese should get his walking papers too. I mean, we obviously don't use him, right? And let's face it, he was a standout because he was the best thing we had on offense. But I look at George Atkinson. I look at, like you were saying about Taiwan Jones, DeAndre Washington's a better Taiwan Jones in my opinion. He's bigger. He's a little bit more shiftier inside the pocket. You hit Taiwan Jones, he can get hurt. I mean, yeah. And Taiwan Jones has a fumbling issue too. So I just think that you could put George Atkinson as a fullback. You can run him as a halfback. I think he showed tonight, even though he dropped that pass, that he can catch the ball out of the backfield too. So I don't know. It blows my mind. It just truly blows my mind. And legacy player aside, I don't care that it's Atkinson's son. That's not why I feel this way. If you look at what he did, like I said, he averaged 10 yards a carry again tonight. It was more like 9 point something, but 10 yards basically, right? 5 carries, 56 yards or something like that. So it was like more than 10 yards a carry. This guy just keeps exploding. His vision, that cut move on the sideline, I'll be dumbfounded if he's not on the roster, even if it's for a 3-week trial while Marcel Reese is on the bench.
Yeah, Money Man. Since you're on, and we appreciate you calling in, man. We honestly do appreciate the conversation. Who do you think they carry as the running backs, and do you think that it's Alawale's got the lock on that fullback spot? Give us your thoughts before we got to go, because we got 2 other callers calling in. Give us your thoughts on who the 3 running backs are going to be and who you believe the fullback is going to be.
Oh, man, okay. Oh, I tell you what, I am not pleased at all with Marcel Reese. And listening to what Knight was saying, I was going to harp on that as well. I'm like, why do you need him? He's got older and bigger. All he does is make the Pro Bowl, but he's not productive at all during the regular season.
Right.
And as far as my roster as running back, I think he should make it as a fullback. And of course, you starter in 28. And I believe you should go with Rashard Washington and boot Jones and put CA3 there. I would go with 5 running backs.
5 running backs.
You can do CA3 on special teams as well as Washington, as well as Rashard.
All right.
That's just my opinion.
All right. Well, once again, Money Man, we got the lines are going crazy right now, but we appreciate you calling in, brother. We didn't obviously get a chance to talk Derek Carr in this particular segment, but next week, well, let's give him a shot with the starters and a whole game. But next week, man, we look forward to you calling in and us being able to have that conversation. We do appreciate you calling, brother, man. Go ahead.
You know I will be on Derek Carr.
All right.
Yeah, we expect it.
There you go. Hey, man, we know you're in the bushes, man. Don't worry about it. But we do appreciate you calling in, brother.
Oh, yeah.
We will talk to you soon.
Oh,
All right. We got a caller coming in from Visalia, California. Caller, you're on the air. What's your name?
Tim.
This is Tim from Visalia.
Tim from Visalia. Hey, Knight, did you just call that?
Yeah, I just called it again. When you said Visalia, I said Tim.
Man, the Knight, and I got the board, folks. I'm going to tell you right now. The Knight can't see who's calling. He doesn't see numbers. He doesn't see anything. He just calls his shots. But go ahead, Tim. You went to the game tonight, huh?
Yeah, I will say this. As far as the running back situation, the reason why we'll probably want to keep Reese, I don't think we should, but for psychological purposes for the team, he's a captain. And that would be a bad thing going to the season to do. Besides, you can keep him up to third game of the season and then make a decision then.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as far as
go ahead.
As far as the running backs, for this game and the other games, the running backs, the linebackers, defensive ends are going to make a really hard decision, not on their side, but on the other positions like the linemen and the wide receivers who we keep, because we're probably going to keep more of those positions this year than we did in the past. My kind of question comes down to is that at this point, preseason's over, guys. We got the season to start. Let's just go for it, man. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
Absolutely.
Tim. Thank you.
Appreciate that, man. Knight, you wanna chime in on that real quick, or?
No, I think we pretty much covered that. I was cutting out a little bit, but I know he was talking about the running backs, the defensive ends, and the linemen. I think they're going to make the rotation. I think there's a lot of them that are going to make it. Once again, I love Marcel Reese, the man, the way he embraces the Raider Nation. But I think we have better options. I think it's time to move on.
Yeah, and you know what? This offensive line, I don't know. I saw some things that didn't please me at all. And with Howard potentially, I don't know what the severity was because, like I said, I didn't get to see the entire game. But if Howard is injured seriously, I know that he got up, fell right back down again.
Could have been a cramp.
You know, that's that. Well, if it's anything other than a cramp, could leave the door open for a guy like Matt McCants. But you know, the one guy, Kaliche Asamble's cousin or whatever his name is, man, that guy's got to go. All right, we've got a call coming in from Sacramento, California.
Raider
Caller,
Jet.
you're on.
Hey guys, this is Raider Troy.
Raider Troy. You missed it. Knight missed it. All right, Raider Troy, what's going on, brother, man?
I just want to thank you guys for everything you guys do for the nation. And I really don't think we need a fullback.
That's what I keep saying.
That we can get somebody else to come in back there and do the job very well. And how do you guys think the secondary played this preseason? I think they played pretty well. Sticky covers all preseason.
All right, I'm going to take the Marcel Reese fullback one. You go ahead and take how the safeties played, Knight. But I'm going to say this. We seem to be a run-first offense. We don't seem to be a power running game. I don't know why we have guys like, again, Lee Smith, good player, all these types of things, wonderful person, strong run blocker. But if you're not going to go out there and power run, and even when you try, you're not doing it very well, then you probably don't need a pass-catching fullback. And if you are going to throw the ball more, then you probably don't need a one-dimensional run-blocking tight end, right? So these are two pieces that, again, we were scouring the waiver wire the last couple of years trying to find players. Right now, we've got players on this football team that fit the scheme of what it is we're trying to do. But this coaching staff, I believe, like most coaching staffs that are defensive, they want to be comfortable with the players that they have. They know these guys from last year. They know these guys, what they've done before. They know Latavius Murray. They know Marcel Reese. They know this and this and that, and so they're comfortable. And unfortunately, we're going to lose, I think, some good players because we're not going to give them the opportunity, or there's not the necessity there. But I agree, Raider Troy. I've said this for weeks now. We don't need a fullback. It is obviously clear that we're not going to be – look, every single game that we've started has started with some type of pass. Every single preseason game. And I'm sure week one we're going to come out and we're going to freaking throw the ball. I doubt we're going to line up and just try to play smash mouth football against the New Orleans Saints. I may be wrong. They may come out with Lee Smith and a blocking fullback and just really decide they're going to run 40 times. Go ahead.
Without carrying a fullback on the roster, we're able to carry another running back.
Carry another running back, carry another wide receiver, I liked what Brent did as well.
I appreciate everybody.
Yeah.
Man, really.
Go ahead.
That kid Latham is balled out this preseason.
Latham's a beast. But Knight, go ahead and answer Troy's question about the secondary.
Secondary? No, I think the secondary has much improved. I really like the way that Sean Smith and David Amerson played this preseason. They both played – I think they tackled well. I think they played aggressive, and I've always wanted to see our corner, especially if you're going to play top down the way we do. We're going to play a lot of zone off man. Be aggressive, jump routes, because that people are going to try to throw it underneath. And you saw Sean Smith do that last week. He missed it. That was the unfortunate part. But I just seen a lot of aggressive play out of Sean Smith. I think he's going to have a great season. Emerson started off slow, but I saw him coming into his own last week. So I think it's going to be fine. And then I think that helps guys like DJ Hayden even, because DJ Hayden doesn't have the pressure to be that number one guy. He's just focused on being a slot guy and being just a backup role player on this football team. And then our safeties, we were talking about this just yesterday, our safeties. Reggie Nelson, Joseph, Allen, I think that's a solid core. You bring in a guy like Miguel who could play corner if need be too. So he's got corner skills. He's a big, physical, fast guy. The secondary is not going to be our weakness by all means. It's looking up. Finally, we got a secondary that can go out there and ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Troy, we got to move on, brother, man. Absolutely. Thank you, man. We appreciate you calling in, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Go Raiders.
All right, brother, man. Okay, we got another call coming in here. It looks like from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Ugarte.
Hey, what's up? This is Pedro. It's been a minute since I called you guys. I hope you guys are doing pretty good. I really enjoy your content. You guys are badass. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. We appreciate it. What's going on? What are your thoughts?
Actually, I was really thinking about cuts and guys that I think should get cut. Like one of those being, I don't like this kid. I think he's a bum. To me, he had his chance and he just blew it pretty much, and it's unfortunate he's not going to get cut because more deserving players are going to get cut because of him having favoritism from the general manager,
Wait.
The dude that I'm referring to is DJ Hayden.
Oh,
I really don't like him at all. Like, I think he should be waived, like one of the worst picks in a long time, First round pick, you're expected to start, right?
Yeah.
To contribute somehow, and I think somebody else that was drafted later on, like a year after he was, what's his name?
TJ Carey?
He was one of our starters last year. I had it in the back of my head.
TJ Carey?
Yeah, TJ Carey.
Yeah.
That dude, great kid. He actually was a middle-round pick, and he ended up being a better defensive back than DJ Hayden, like a jack of all trades. He can do a lot of stuff. And I just think that it's BS, like Reggie McKenzie, everybody's but I'm like, did you guys forget about all the crap he did before, Hiring Dennis Allen as coach, and all the crappy draft picks that he had before, Tony Ferguson being another one. Menali Watson, we don't know yet because he's been too hurt, but I just think he should get cut, but he's not going to. I haven't really been impressed with anything that he's done in the preseason. I'm like, what the heck? But, yeah, it pisses me off that guys like this, I know he's been through a lot, like I know he had the stuff that happened to him in Houston, when he almost died on the field. That's a good feel-good story, but at the end of the day, you get paid money to produce and contribute, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
we didn't even pick up his option for his final year, or his fifth year, so
we kind of
being on the team it pisses me off.
Well, we kind of talked a little bit about this, before. It doesn't matter what your story is. It doesn't matter where you were picked or how much you were paid. But unfortunately, to the fan, it doesn't. But unfortunately, to the general manager, to the owner, if you're a first-round pick, you get a little bit more time. If you, feel-good stories. Look, Jihad Ward had a feel-good story. He had to ride a bus every day to school. He had to do. Hey, if you can get on the field and you can ball out, man, your story is a plus. But if, you almost died and you're a bust, well, it's just a story at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's like you've got to be able to produce. I wanted DJ Hayden to produce, and I thought he's played well in sort of, he had a heck of a rundown to bring down. I think it was Murray last week. In the Tennessee game. I mean, came all the way from across the field and showed that speed. And he's a guy that just for whatever reason, when the bright light turned on, he wasn't able to handle it. But I don't know, Knight, what's your thoughts on Mr. Hayden?
Yeah, that's why they didn't pick up his option. This is his last year. And, yeah, he'll probably make the team. I think he's played decent in the slot. I've seen him get burned early on, but I've seen him come around these last few games. Him and Carey have been battling it out. But even if he gets the starting spot covering that slot receiver, make no mistake about it, he won't be on the roster next year. I mean, he would literally have to lead us in interceptions or some crazy thing like that. Wow, I almost cursed. I stopped myself. Or some crazy thing like that. So, as far as Hayden goes, not every pick can be a home run. And we've been lucky the last 3 years. But, that was just one of those things that didn't pan out. I think Reggie learned from it. Obviously, he learned from it. But it's unfortunate for DJ Hayden. But I think if we could get one decent, I'm not even going to say great, but one decent year out of DJ Hayden covering that slot receiver, I mean, I'm not going to be happy, but I'll take it and then send him his walking papers. I'm fine.
Yeah, it ain't right. Like I don't hate him as a person, but you're getting paid to play games. Come on, give it your all. Do your best. That's all I ask is for the Raider players. Whoever's on the team, I don't give a crap. As long as your heart is into it, as long as you give it like 110%, you know?
Right.
If you get money to play a sport, you know? Should be counting like, oh yeah, thank goodness I'm getting paid a lot of money to do this, and I should try to better myself as a player, you know, so I could actually make it worth not only the team's time, but the fans, you know, like show them that I give a damn, you know. And it seemed to me that he never gave a shit. So, I don't know, the way he played, I'm like, come on, he really, it seems like he wasn't like all there. He just didn't he didn't care as much as he should have, you know. I don't hate him as a person, I just don't like him as a player.
No, absolutely, man. We appreciate your call. We appreciate your call, man.
Yeah,
and you know what? Hey, check it out, man. The game is next week. Continue watching because we're going to put a challenge out to a lot of you guys out there tonight before we go. But the game is next week, so we hope to hear from you next week when it really, really, really counts. But we appreciate your call, and we're going to talk for a second after the call about DJ Hayden. So go back and catch what we have to say about that. But once again, brother, man, we do appreciate you calling. You know, the one thing that I want to say about DJ Hayden is you got to remember he was drafted by Reggie McKenzie for Dennis Allen. He wasn't drafted by Reggie McKenzie for Jack Del Rio or Ken Norton. This is a press cover corner. This is an old school Raider kind of bump and run guy, had a lot of talent, but he was a guy that needed to get his hands on players. He needed to be able to redirect them and to stay with them. And you know, even with Dennis Allen, I mean, the injury and all those kind of things, it was a real slow development. You come into this particular style of defense and you're asked to play 8, 9, 10 yards off the ball, particularly when there's not a pass rush, and you're going to get beat left and right. So that's the thing about him kind of moving into the slot, being able to run with players, being able to get closer to the line. A lot of times that's detrimental for your nickelbacks because the split end can be 6, 7 yards behind the line as well, right? Get a running start, you know, make his cuts and do different types of things. But I think he's fared a lot better there than playing, you know, that off man coverage, which he, you know, wasn't very good at. And then by the time he was able to turn and run with the receiver, he wasn't able to get his head back around and look for the ball. So there's just a feel and a groove, and people have to understand that. This was a press cover corner drafted to be an old school Raider type corner for a different coaching staff and regime, asked to then come back in after some subpar seasons and learn a new defense that he is not suited for, right? So I'm not making excuses for him. If he doesn't make this team, I'm not going to cry, boo-hoo, whatever. We've had number 1 overall picks not make this football team. We've had number 4 picks not make this football team. Number 4 picks make the football team year after year and not be able to do anything like McFadden. So your thoughts on that before we go to the Watts Raider?
No, man. I think enough's been said about it. Like I said, I've always rooted for DJ Hayden. I pretty much gave up on him last year, but I think maybe they found, you know, a home for him for at least 16 games. You know, if he stays healthy, I wouldn't mind him being the nickel back for a little while. But like I said, if he finds a way to even improve off that and be a part of this team next year, hey, good for him. If not, like you said, you know, you aren't going to get me on here going, oh, I miss Hayden. You know. It is what it is, man. We need a body as a nickelback, and it looks like he's going to have that spot, at least early on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. Well, it's that time of the night. It's that part of the show, folks. We got somebody stepping on the stage right now. The one, the only, the Watts Raider.
Man, you're silly, man. Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest, man. I had to work, man, so I didn't see none of the game. But you know what? It don't matter because I've been listening in and I've been kind of getting the picture of what happened in the game and certain players. And you know, that list I made prior that one night, man. I'm thinking a lot of those players I named on the list, man, are gonna make this team. Man.
Yep.
I'm happy about that.
Yep.
And I think the point about DJ Hayden, man, is basically this, man. I've been saying this too. You said it exactly, Pyre. He's a press type corner. He has to get his hands on the receiver. He's not good at locating the ball. He doesn't watch the quarterback. He wants to know where the receiver is at all times.
Right.
So if he can work on his footwork and his vision, he will never be able to play in this system, in this defensive system that they're trying to run. So if he plays in the slot, I think he will do better because, like you said, he's going to be closer to the receiver. So if DJ can basically become a ball hawk, basically, and kind of let the quarterback kind of be able to read the quarterback's eyes, or at least kind of know, as far as film study, the different play calls, when they're going to do film study and kind of know when he's playing that slot, where the receiver's going to go and where he should be. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be okay. But as far as being a number 1 and 2, we got a solid number 1 and 2. And he's lucky that we have that. He's lucky now. So he can kind of relax a little bit and kind of just play. Because Anderson and Smith, they're going to handle the big boys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to handle the big boys. Plus, DJ Hayden is really small, man. He's small. He's like Carl Joseph. But Carl Joseph is a better player to me. But they're about the same size, So I mean, he's short. I mean, and now in the league, receivers are tall, man. So Sean Smith is like the perfect corner, for nowadays, like a Richard Sherman. I mean, he got the size, he can go up for those jump balls, and we'll be able to handle that. So I think DJ is going to make this team, and I hope he does well, at least in the slot. I hope he can at least tackle. I mean, maybe he'll get a couple of picks. I mean, like I said, if he can get his vision better, but I'm not really worried about DJ, man. I want to see who's going to make this running back squad. Because I really don't like Murray, but like you said, they're comfortable with Murray. And like you said, they're not going to run the power game. And that's what we really need to do. Because if we run the power game, we can also run play action, and we can basically keep the defenses off balance. But I think Musgrave just wants to just kind of be traditional. I don't know, or just he doesn't want to really spice it up. But maybe we'll see. But I think we should incorporate the I formation and different formations in our running game because we have 3 running backs, 4 really, but 3 that can actually play that system well, and I think it would help the offensive line because that extra blocker will be out there too. So,
right.
I mean, as far as the defense, man, like you were saying, the corners, the secondary, we good with that. And I keep hearing Latham. I mean, is Latham is he a defensive end or is he a tackle?
Tackle.
Yeah, but they're also playing him at defensive end when they're in the 34 with the outside linebackers coming in as the edge rusher.
I was making a point. I was making a point to someone where I was telling them like we really need to try to run the 3-4 defense and run zone blitz packages because we have different players that we can put at the line spots, at those end spots. And then we can move Khalil Mack around a little bit. As far as the double teams come, we can move Mack around. I think we should let Bruce Irvin go back to being a linebacker, basically. I don't really like him rushing the passer. I think he can help out that linebacking core to help stop the run. So, and I think, like how Kowser makes the team, man, because I think he can play a little end too, and I think Jahai Ward should play on the end too. So I think we should try to incorporate that 3-4, that zone blitz, a couple of zone blitz packages in there, but run that 3-4 defense. And I think we'll be able to contain the run with that. And, because our pass coverage is pretty good. It's going to be pretty good. So we just can't let teams gash us early in the game, especially going up against a team that runs the ball a lot. And that's going to start off trying to run. We need to really kind of shore that up. But from what I'm hearing, the defensive line, and they played a little bit better. So I'm kind of happy about that. So hopefully they're getting all that structure. But I don't know, man. My only issue really as of right now is I really don't want to take this Murray to start. I want Washington to start, man. Yeah. I want GA3 on the team. He got to be on the team. He had like what, an 83-yard return, I'm hearing, or something like that.
Yep.
He's just explosive, man. We got to keep him. And Marcel Reese, I mean, hey, like you said, we don't really need a fullback. I mean, we got Olawale, and I mean, we still got, like you said, we still got Lee Smith, and then we're not running the power game. So they need to figure out what they want to do, and I think we should run the power game, but I still think we really don't need Reese. But I don't know, man. The Saints coming, man. So we know they're a pass-heavy team, so we're going to be kind of ready for that. So I think we should try to run the ball on them, though, so we can control the clock. You can control the clock better when you're running the ball. And then, like I say, you can switch up the play column. You can hit the play action. You can hit the bootlegs. You can do whatever once you start running that ball. So I think that, and I was telling somebody, I was like, that's what's going to get us to the Super Bowl. Not just our passing game. Teams gonna be ready for our passing game. They already ready right now. They know what we coming with.
Yep.
But they really don't know what we coming with in the running game. And I think we can shock a lot of teams, and that will help us be a Super Bowl caliber team if we can consistently run the ball. You know what I'm saying? Really, just we don't have to do it the whole game, but hey, just come out, start the game, get good field position, run the ball, run the clock. If you want to get in the red zone, let's throw the ball in the red zone. Let's do that. We got receivers that can go get it, you know. So that would be me if I was the OC. That's what I would do. But hopefully Musgrave got the magical playbook, man. He gonna come with some running offense where teams are gonna fear our running backs, you know, because they don't fear our running backs right now. They like, oh, well, Murray in the game. They don't run the draw. Oh, that's a shotgun. I said, bro, you don't run the draw play. Only time you want to run a draw play is if you got like 3rd and 2, or like 2nd and 3, or you on 4th down and you got 4th and 2 or 4th and 1, and you want to fake them like, hey, yeah, we might throw the ball, but you know what? We finna run a draw. That's when you run a draw, because it's probably gonna be one linebacker right there. So that's the only linebacker I gotta beat. So boom, I'm gonna get at least 4 or 5 yards off that draw play. Not running the draw play on 1st and 10. Then get negative yards. It's 1st and 12. Okay, Carr gotta throw the ball down the field. You know he want to. So we gotta figure out a formula, man. Football, man, it's easy, man. But you gotta have a formula. You can really attack defenses, man, if you come with a formula. And I just think that we got enough backs to really have a nice game, man. To really have a nice one. So I don't want to take up too much time, man. You don't have to call in, man. I love y'all, man.
Absolutely.
Shout out to everybody, man. They support me, man. Been dropping vids, you know. Check me out. I did a Cowboys vid and a couple other vids. I did a Philip Buchanan vid. I remember that game when he played against the Titans, and you know what I'm saying, he had that perfect coverage right there on Kevin Dyson and made that pick, but they called it back. That's how you play cornerback, right there. He played it just like he played it. The receiver go to the outside, you come to the inside. So I hope DJ Hayes, man, is really just trying to get focused, because I think if he can hit in that slot spot, that's going to slow down some teams, too, that we're going to play.
Absolutely.
So, I'm just ready for the season to start, man.
Well, it's
we
coming,
gotta
man.
Keep GA3, man. We got to keep it.
It's coming, and we're going to see what happens. You know, like I said, you made a lot of good points. So like I said, we're going to see how close you were in those predictions of the 53. You know, starting tomorrow, man. They're going to, Saturday, I guess it is.
The Saturday's the deadline, but you'll start seeing heads drop tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll start seeing some heads drop tomorrow.
I'm excited, though, man, because I think a lot of those players going to make it, man. A lot of them going to make it.
Well, we're going to see. We're going to see, like I said. All right, man. We appreciate you calling, but we got to wrap this thing up at 11 o'clock because it's a weeknight and we both got children, and it gets a little bit loud. But we again appreciate you calling, Money Man. We appreciate you calling, Watts Raider. And we will talk with you next week. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Hey, much love, Mike, man. Much love.
Hey, we also got to get you to make those picks. So be ready to make those picks, man. Be ready to make those picks.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Send me an email when you're ready for me to do it.
All right. Email. Absolutely, man. We'll do. All right, brother, man. Cool. Thanks for the phone call. I think that we're probably going to wrap this sucker up. Man, we got up to 60 people that were watching, which is kind of cool. That's a really, really cool thing to do there. Before Knight wraps this thing up, I just want to point out something. We're trying to do a couple things here to get ready for the season. We got a incredible show coming out on our pregame show to start the actual season. So we got our regular guests coming on. We got a little bit of a new format. We got some really exciting things. But what we're going to try to do, we got a new program that tracks social media sharing. So what we're going to ask you guys to do, we're going to run a contest. When you actually like these videos, or if you actually watch the video, you're going to see a little thing that says share or embed. The video itself, we're going to put into this little piece of software, and we will know where you embed this video. If you embed it on your Facebook page, if you embed it on your Twitter page, or even on YouTube, if you like it. It allows us to go into all of the different programs. It allows us to see who is actually sharing our videos with who. So we're going to run a contest to try to drive up the views so that we can actually have a bigger audience to start out this season, because we're really excited about our after game show and to see actually where that's going to go, as well as our weekly show. So we're going to try to start with that starting Monday. So once again, when the show comes out, all you have to do is click on the little embed thing, go in, take that little link, and then just copy and paste it into your favorite social media. We're not asking you to do it for everything. We don't want to flood the web with these things, but just your favorite thing. If you're a Twitter guy, man, just pop it on Twitter. If you're a Facebook guy, if you really, really want a shirt. He's trying to show it to everybody. Look at it. Look at the Knight's trying to get off.
Well, check it out. Check it. There it is.
Hey, he's trying to get off.
I look at. They hired me as a model. You see that?
Now that W2W right there, that W2W established in 1929. Now, for those of you that are shrewd out there, you're going to know that that's the year that Al Davis was born. Right? So the Will to Win was established in 1929. So we've got these really cool Will to Win established in 1929. We've got a bunch of other ones as well. A few different ones that we're working on having printed at this time. So you'll be able to pick those. We've already got one that's on its way to Mexico. It's already crossing the border. Just in one episode, we've got one that's leaving the United States. So once again, what we're going to do is this little software actually allows us to track who is sharing it with who, just by us putting our link into the URL search box. It goes out, searches all these different things, and comes back and says this person or that person shared it on these or those profiles. So once again, we're not trying to make money from it. We're not trying to do anything. We're just trying to increase the audience so that we have a bigger audience and we can get as much of this information out there as possible. So I just wanted to go ahead and share that with you guys. We're putting in a lot of work. We think this next show is going to be our absolute best show yet. And we're really, really excited about it. Like I said, our merchandise has just come in. We have 10,000 shirts for sale or for giveaway at this point. No, I'm joking. We don't have 10,000. But trust us when we say, if you do participate in this, we will see what it is that you're doing. And we will have a winner for you guys in the first 4 quarters of the season. So start on it right away. And yeah, it's exciting, man. Next week it's for real. And it's going to be super cool. Mr. Knight.
Guys, we want to thank you once again. Getting major feedback.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. We'd like to thank you guys for joining again. We really appreciate all your support. Over the last few months, our numbers have grown. We're feeling the love. We're going to continue to be working hard and make this channel grow. We're just asking for a little help, and we're willing to give back in return. So we just want to say we appreciate all you guys. Don't forget, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at the Will to Win. You have any questions or concerns, you can reach us at the w2w@gmail.com. That is the w2w@gmail.com. And like we've been saying all night, we're just a little over a week away from finally kicking this thing off for real. We're going to actually be scheming. Our defense is going to be set. Our offense is going to be on fire. we'll see a whole different, hopefully see a whole different running attack. Maybe we'll see some more of that power running game. But we got a lot of things to look forward to. Until tomorrow, I am Seabass, as the people have been calling me lately. I don't look like, I guess I could do the little Seabass, look on it. That's fine. I'll be that. I'll be him. That's cool. Like I said, can I have his bank account as well? That'd be nice. Anyway,
if you just take a black marker and make a little bit of a V shape right down the middle of your head, you will look like Rod Woodson, man. I'm telling you. You're a combination of Sebastian Janikowski and Rod Woodson.
And that's not a bad thing, man. That's not about. I'll take that all day. I'll take that as a compliment. All right, Raider Nation. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll probably come on tomorrow. Well, actually, we'll be on tomorrow, the W2W review, and we'll cover, take a look at the roster and kind of give some predictions for you guys. All right, guys. Till tomorrow. I'm the Oakland Knight. That's the Raider Pirate. You guys stay Raider strong.